Hello and welcome to the Lifetime Sea Otter Classic presented by Cannondale here in sunny California. It's said to be the biggest bike festival in the whole wide world. I'm Matt from road.cc and we're going to show you some of the tech highlights. Let's go and see what we can find. Okay, so now I'm here with Ian Hughes from Vielo, and he's going to tell us a little bit about this bike and its very special finish. Which part of California are you from, Ian?
Newcastle upon Tyne.
Okay. I'm sure
Home of football.
I'm sure I've seen you somewhere before. Yeah. Yeah. Can you tell us a little about the just the bike to start with? It's a bike that you've had for a while now.
Yeah, the V+1 gravel bike, this is our second generation, and we're kind of placing the bike at kind of fast gravel rather than the big long distance endurance bike packing style. So we want to accommodate up to a 50mm tyre. We're still completely one by only, with the frame junction of the down tube going into the bottom bracket. That's really, really nice and stiff. And we can run the chainstays, still offering a 50mm tyre, completely symmetrical. So we don't have to go for a drop chainstay with that tyre width. So that's kind of a bit of a first. Instead of going for that drop chainstay, which we believe is a bit old school now, you can actually accommodate that. And we believe kind of 50mm is more than sufficient for kind of fast gravel. So that's the whole idea around the V+1. The tyres are going to take a lot of the high frequency vibration out of the tarmac. And then the way we've designed the stays, the seat stays, a very slight curve, flat profile, again just provides a little bit more comfort over the lumps and bumps.
And it's a really clean looking bike, I think we can say. I mean, there's not a cable to be seen, there's no ports or anything. I mean, clean is the word for it.
Yeah, I mean, the regular version, which we've been running for the past kind of 2 years now, has regular cable ports, so it'll accommodate Shimano GRX Mechanical, GRX Di2, Campag Ekar, etc. And then we've been waiting for delivery of the new SRAM Explorer group set, completely wireless, so Red Force Rival across 1044. And we've had the frame set ready without any cable ports. We re-engineered the whole frame, so there's no blanks, nothing at all, completely clean. And we wanted to launch the bike here at Sea Otter in the knowledge that in 1 month's time we're going to be taking delivery of those group sets, so we can offer the whole bike as a full package. So this is the V+1 Race Edition, completely wireless, completely fully integrated. We kind of come up with a bit of a statement paint finish on it, sort of an acid red to an orange fade, and the transition between the two colours is lots of tiny little V+1s in that transition, so it kind of gives a bit of a pop.
It's a really unusual finish, yeah, as you say. We'll get close in and show you, but the kind of the blend, where it blends, as you say, is really unusual. Was it difficult to get that done?
It was a challenge. I mean, it was a challenge for the factory to do it. We came up with 3 or 4 different versions, and I wasn't quite happy with how the transition was working. There was kind of split lines between it, but I have to say, they came up with a great job, and we're super happy with it. It's pretty special. And then we just wanted to add some extra little bits of bling as well. So we added the Hope RX4+ calipers on front and rear. The axles are carbon through axles, front and rear. And then the seat post clamp, normally CNC machined alloy, we can do it with the 3D printed. So just nice little detail touches, just finish the bike off.
Beautiful. And as you say, available very soon.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at May delivery. And it's going to be available from SRAM Red Explorer, SRAM Force Explorer, and SRAM Rival Explorer as a complete package, as a complete build.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Ian.
Thank you.
Cheers. So now we're here with Jody, who's Senior Product Manager at Vitus, and he's going to give us a little sneak peek on this prototype bike. First of all, what's it called?
So this is going to be called the Venon. It's a redevelopment of a bike we had about 5 or 6 years ago, with a little bit of a twist on it. Previous Venon was an endurance road bike, and this is an all-road version of that bike. A little bit more versatile. we're going to sell it in 2 different versions. So we will be selling a road spec version, standard road wheels, road tyres, road handlebars. We will also sell an all-road version with a bigger tyre, so probably a 40mm gravel tyre, a bit like the ones you can see now, a flared handlebar, just a bit more versatile, and kind of fully expect that people will be swapping wheels out on this bike. Kind of one bike to do 2 things, really.
Yeah, absolutely, depending on what they fancy doing on a particular day. Can you tell us a little bit about the details of the frame? Because it's a really nicely put together frame by the look of it. It's everything's integrated.
Yeah, so this is kind of taken some of the aspects of our ZX1 and Vitesse Evo race bikes. We've got some aero shapes on the bike. The head tube would be the biggest obvious one. It's full internally cable routed using the FSA ACR system. It shares some of the headset parts out of the ZX1 bike, so everything will come with this FSA SMR stem. Predominantly prime finishing kits on this, so carbon handlebars, seat posts, wheels. And then the frame itself, you're looking at a slightly higher grade of carbon than our race bikes on this particular one. So weight-wise, it should be in line with our lightweight road bike, the Vitesse. So super competitive for weight.
Well, that's really unusual that you're going for the higher grade on this as opposed to on the more race models. Why would that be?
So 2 reasons. This project is 2 years behind those bikes. So like we've learned a little bit and things have moved on. So evolution, I guess, is one of the reasons. The other reason is on the gravel specs, the bikes are likely to be a little bit heavier because of the bigger tyres, etc. So that helps us to reduce a bit of weight back out of the total bike as a package and still retain a weight that you would expect from kind of a high-end endurance road bike, which effectively this is.
Sure, absolutely. And so it's a Vitus Venon. It's going to be available, and prices.
Yeah,
How are we thinking?
So availability, we're looking at the end of this calendar year at the moment. Obviously things are a little bit fluid at the moment due to component lead times. Price-wise, it will be in line with our current Vitesse bike. Spec-wise, it'll start at a 105 SRAM rival ETAP level and go up to a Force ETAP Ultegra Di2 level. So yeah, comparable to the Vitesse Evo bike in terms of price. Starting 2,500 probably, roughly.
Fab. I'm sure it's a bike that's going to do very well. It's going to tick a lot of boxes for a lot of people. Thank you very much, Jody, for giving us a little sneak peek.
No problem, guys.
Now I'm here with Hector from Classified. Hector, we've been hearing a lot about Classified over the last few months, maybe a couple of years, and but for those who haven't really been paying too much attention, can you just give us a really quick rundown of what the system is and how it works?
Perfect, yeah, with pleasure. So Classified has evolved a 2-speed rear geared hub in the rear hub. So basically, you have a virtual small chainring in your rear hub, replacing the functionality of a front derailleur. So you're getting rid of your 2x system, but you're running a 1x system and have all the benefits and the gear ratio of a 2x system.
Cool. And in terms of, all right, that's what you provide. How do you provide it?
So how do you provide it? Basically, you initiate the shift by using the shift button right here, sends a wireless signal through the smart through axle, and that will initiate a shift via a coil. So it's a wireless energy transfer, and then it's a planetary gear system in it's actually the black box. It's a planetary gear system in the rear hub.
Cool.
And it's classified. So.
Right, I get it. So it's really clever, but why would I or anyone else out there? What's the benefit?
Yeah, there's quite some benefits. So first of all, yeah, you're running on a big chainring, so the bigger the better. So it's very efficient. So you can shift under full load. It's instant shifting, so it's very quick. You will never lose your front chainring. So basically, you're always running on your big chainring, so you can't lose your chainring. So those are the main benefits. And then you have it's a very efficient way of riding your bike.
Sure. And in terms of fitting it to your bike, are there specific frame requirements that have to be adhered to?
Yeah, so the main frame requirement is that you have disc brakes, and then basically you can fit the system on every bike if you have that requirement. Yeah.
And a lot of brands have, we notice every week or two we hear news of more brands taking it on.
Indeed. So now we have around 15 OE partners, and yeah, this is growing. So we're not stopping there, of course. So it's only the beginning. So it's time to shift, basically.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Hector.
You're welcome.
Now I'm here with someone who most of you will probably recognise, Tom Bonin, who is involved with Classified. Do you want to tell us how you became involved?
How I became involved? Actually, Matthias, our CEO, he was trying to get me to check it out for a longer period of time, and I didn't know what the guys were, so I didn't know what the product was. And then a mutual friend of ours who's an engineer, and he has a very famous engineering bureau in Belgium, who's like a problem solver. He called me, he's like, I've just seen the future. You have to check these guys out. And then it was Matthias and Classified. So we made an appointment, I went there and I didn't really know what to expect, and I tried the system out. It was one of the first generations. And I told them my opinion about it, because that's what I was there for. And then a week later I called them, said I want to come over again and I want to invest in the company, because I really think this could be a big game changer. And that's now, I think, almost 3 years ago.
Cool, okay. And you said your opinion of it. What is your opinion of it, and why do you think it's an important product?
It's like a lot of things on bikes, you know, it's not going to change the world, but it makes the bike just much more reliable. You got a single speed gear, a single speed one-by system, but you got all the advantages of a normal conventional system without the disadvantages of a one-by system. The system shifts on a load, full load, so you can just get on top of the Tyenberg, and without thinking, you just push the button and the system shifts in 25 thousandths of a second. So there's not more the waiting moments that you have to wait to get the chain without too much tension on to spring on the big gear, and those critical moments that the chain gets stuck in between the chain rings. And actually the front derailleur on a modern race bike is still the weakest point on the bicycle. The bike's super strong, bomb-proof, but the front derailleur is still just like a mechanical piece of metal that pulls the chain up and down. So we thought that there's room for improvement, and with this system, gravel, mountain bike, road bike, e-bike, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can do with it. We just started selling it now, and we see there's a lot of interest from the industry. So we hope to put a little bit of our mark on cycling with it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Tom.
Here you go.
I'm with Fizik now, with Giovanni in particular, who's Fizik have just launched within the last couple of days actually a new saddle called the Argo Adaptive, and as you can see it's a 3D printed saddle. And Giovanni, can you tell us a little about it please, and what makes it a special saddle?
Yeah, so we have introduced the 3D printing technology in our paddings a couple of years ago. To start with, on one of our popular shape, the Antares. So this time we're bringing the same exact technology on our short nose saddle platform. So it is a saddle that is extremely versatile, you know, highly appreciated by most cyclists. So the main benefit of these technologies is to have different densities of the padding in the surface seamlessly. So this is something that with traditional manufacturing is not achievable, right? So this is what really 3D printed technology allowed us to do. So we can identify different zones within the saddle where you get a different response of the foam. So the saddle would be more firm here, where you sit with your sitting bones, and as you move forward, as you rotate your pelvis, say you put yourself in a more aggressive position and you go forward, you're going to sit on your soft tissue. So that's where you need a little bit more give. So we have different densities, exactly where you need it in the right place, in the right spot.
Perfect. And so we know how it works. Is it really difficult to make?
It's not difficult to make, and let me say, it's also it has improved our development process, because with this technology we can iterate faster, you know, so we can try out something, we print it, We put it on the pressure mapping, analysis. We do some bike fitting, and we can see if it works or not. If we're not happy with it, we do another iteration. We can print it out, and this is not possible with traditional manufacturing. So we can fine-tune the different densities of traditional foam, but it will take longer, right? And also the way we can move those sections I was talking about, we can play with it and find the right combination that works for everybody, right?
Absolutely, yeah, I get that. And there are more than one versions of this saddle?
Yes, exactly. So the shape is going to be the same one, and also the base. It's a carbon reinforced shell, but we offer it with 2 different rail configurations. So basically, we are able to provide the saddle at 2 different price points, so it makes this technology also approachable for people that don't want to spend as much money, So it's not only a premium product. Obviously, you pay a premium for this technology, but it's more, for everyone, I would say.
Sure, I get that. And it's available now. If people are impressed, they can go out and get hold of one right now.
Yeah, so we're showing this here at Sea Otter because we thought it was like a good time. So it will come later this month, available in 2 different sizes. So it's not available right now, but it will soon.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for an insight into the product. Thanks, Giovanni. We're now at Cannondale, and I'm with Colin. And Colin, we've got a brand spanking new for the show, Cannondale Topstone. Yeah, absolutely. So, do you want to talk us through, please, the key points? What's changed?
All right. Yeah, we're really excited for the new Topstone. We're here at Sea Otter just a couple days after the launch of the brand new Topstone Carbon. Really exciting features for this one. I think what I'm really stoked about is the geometry improvements. We've gone a little bit lower on pretty much everything here. So lower bottom bracket, the standover is lower. So you're just going to feel a little bit more planted, a little bit more in the bike, especially as riders start to really push the limits. We've got the lefty equipped here. So going out on single track, having a good time. Also just feeling stable as you're going through corners. We're really excited because Kingpin's been improved. So what we've done there is we've gone from a cartridge bearing to a bushing system. So mountain bikers are going to know all about that, maybe not us on the drop bar side of things. I had to learn a little bit about what the difference was there.
So what's the advantage in terms of performance?
So really, I think the biggest thing here is for us, with mountain bikers, they have shock pressures and they've got all this linkages. With the bushing in there, you don't have to worry about it. It's pretty much maintenance free. Really never going to have to open that up. No grease, nothing to really worry about in terms of ball bearings and a cartridge system. It's also 100 grams lighter. Yeah. We love hearing stuff like that. So we've made the new Topstone lighter. And yeah, it's rotating basically through axle pivot right here in the seat tube. So you'll notice some sculpting that happens from the bottom bracket, a little bit at the kind of junction here of the top tube, and that's just allowing this whole system to flex. It's real suspension. It's not just a comfort mechanism. So that's translating to about 30 millimeters at the saddle and 10 millimeters at the rear axle.
Gotcha. And this version, is the posh version with the lefty fork up front.
Well, we do have 2, if we're going to call them the posh versions. The Topstone 1, that's going to come with Force ETAP Axis. Hope that I got that right for friends at SRAMs with the full name there. So the lefty version, or you can go with the rigid version in the same spec of the Force Axis. Lefty is equipped with a 700C. You may be familiar with our previous generation coming equipped with 650B wheels. So a lot of riders are going to appreciate how efficient this feels. Really great option now. You can go with a 45 millimeter tire. If you do go down into that wheel size of a 650B, you can get into a mountain bike tire range at 2.1.
Sure. Fantastic. And shall we just shuffle this way?
Yeah,
a little bit? We'll shuffle. So we've still got a Topstone, but it's quite different in both look and in the features that it provides.
Yeah, so now we're kind of in this mountain bike territory where the frame stays the same, but the fork spec gets a little bit different. So the Kingpin totally remains. So you're always going to have that rear suspension that really makes Topstone that confident bike for all sorts of terrain. Again, it is going to be that E-TAP equipped, but we've gone, instead of that 1x, we're giving riders a 2x system, because this is more of your road oriented, smoother gravel, less kind of technical stuff with the rigid fork.
And cool. And the other key feature, just from the outside looking in, is we've got Cannondale Smart Sense on here, which is something that was introduced a few weeks ago on the Synapse, and it's made its way over onto the Topstone range.
Yeah, we're really excited about SmartSense on pretty much most drop bar platforms that are coming out, because it really does improve the road riding experience. When you're out there, you are going to have to deal with other road users' vehicles. So the intelligent light and radar system is now appearing on Topstone, because let's face it, we're not going to be alone out there. As much as we'd like to retreat and get out onto these quiet gravel roads, there's always going to be another road user, and now we can just be all a little bit more aware of each other, because we're going to get that radar notification on your head unit, and that rear light is also going to be giving a specific flash pattern to hopefully alert those drivers and other road users behind you.
Fantastic, Colin. Thanks for giving us a really quick overview of what's going on with the new models. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure.
What an incredible few days at the Sea Otter Classic. The weather's been perfect, there have been loads of cool new bikes and components to check out, and best of all, everyone has had a fantastic time at this huge celebration of cycling. My name's Matt. If you've enjoyed this road.cc video, please hit like, share it, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe for loads more cool cycling content. One thing's for sure, we'll be back at Sea Otter next year.